magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Magandang hapon sa ating mga viewers and sa ating mga kasama today. Muli, maligayang pagbabalik sa panibagong makabuluhang episode ng Kalambag. Ayan. So, for ating episode ngayon, ito ay isa sa mga pinaka-espesyal na episode na maihahandog ng ating programa. Ngunit bago tayo tumungo sa ating pag-uusapan, ating kamustahin muna ang mga kasama natin ngayon sa live. So, starting off with the elephant in the room, we have a new face dito sa live. Let's welcome Jessie. Kamusta ka and welcome.
Hi, Siobhan, and to everyone in the live. Good afternoon and good day. Thank you very much for welcoming me. As of right now, I feel very grateful po to be here, and it's such a great opportunity din po to be a part of Kalambag. So, yeah, good day po and happy holidays. Thanks.
Perfect. So, ayan, si Jessie is a new part of sa team ng Kalambag Lager High. And off to Zian. Kamusta ka? If okay ang internet. Ayan, okay. So, let's go to Kuya Akim. Kamusta ka, Kuya Akim?
Hello everyone, namaste. No, so as of now, yes, I'm very happy. It's because una sa lahat, nagpa-check up ako nung Merkules, and I'm very happy kasi normal na yung blood sugar level ko, and wala na rin yung anemia ko as well as the UTI. So, kumbaga, napaka-blessed ko kasi ano tawag nito. Aside from gumaling ako sa kinaharap kong pagsubok last month until now, I'm very grateful kasi napakaraming mabubuting puso na nasa paligid ko. Of course, that's your Ate Meryl and Shenzo, no? Then I'm very lucky that I have my very, very best, very good best friend na kagaya niya na parang tinuring ko na rin siya as kapatid. And yung feeling na if there's a gathering sa family nila, I'm always invited, ganon, and parang kulang na lang na parang tanggang dikit kung ganon. So that's why if you have a friend na talagang tinuring mo na as your sister, as your brother, so treat them, and ingatan nyo yung relationship na yon. Kapon ka. Back to you, Shibon.
Ayan, good to hear, Kuya Akim. Iba naman kamustahin natin. How about si Kuya Justin? Kuya Justin,
So, hello everyone. So, I've been so happy lately kasi nakabalik na ako sa Kalambag for all the kumbaga challenges and hurdles sa finals ng college life journey. So, I'm really excited, to share this kind of experience dito sa Kalambag. Yan lang naman, Shibone.
good to hear din, Kuya Justin. How about ang dalawa nating kasama dito sa Lager High, Levin? Kamusta ka?
Ayan, so hello Siobhan, hello everyone. So para sa akin okay naman ako ngayon. Medyo masama yung pakiramdam ko pero lumalaban pa rin. Excited ako for today's episode kasi kung hindi alam ng mga viewers natin, this episode will be 2 hours instead of the previous 1 hour natin. So from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. ay to 3 p.m. is mag-usap-usap na tayo. And excited rin ako sa topic natin kasi very meaningful rin yung topic natin ngayon. And as the last episode for this year, malaki rin yung impact niya. So, excited ako na makausap kayo, magkwentuhan tayo. So, thank you, Siobhan. Back to you.
Good to hear that, Levin. How about you, Lian?
Hi! So, happy naman ako ngayong week, and overall, sobrang excited ako for this episode kasi yun nga, sabi nga nila Kuya Akim and Levin na this is the last episode for the year, and very, very excited ako sa topic natin. And so far, looking forward ako kasi may bago rin tayong kasama sa Kalambag, which is si Jessie. Hi! Ayun lang. Thank you, Siobhan.
Ayan. So, it seems like may technical problems pa si Zian. Pero, yun nga, for me naman, lately, like, sabi nga ni Levin, ang dami rin talaga nagkakasakit. So, kasama na rin ako doon. I don't know if it's sa weather din talaga. Pero overall, very excited din ako sa magiging topic natin ngayon kasi feel like sobrang daming taong matatouch sa topic natin ngayon. And ayun, so let's go to the recap. Lian, take it away.
Ayan. For our recap last episode, tinalakay natin ang Human Rights Day. Dito sa episode na to no nakaraan, binigyan natin ng diin ang mga karapatang pantao para sa lahat. Sa episode na din na iyon ay tinalakay natin yung mga isyung direktang nakakaapekto sa ating mga kabataan. Kaya rewatch nyo yon or watch nyo yung episode na yun kapag curious kayo and gusto nyo ulit pakinggan yun. And syempre, panoorin nyo yun pagtapos na tong episode na to kasi this is a 2-hour episode which we are very looking forward para sa inyo lahat. Yun lang. Thank you, Siobhan.
Okay, so parang medyo nawala na si Shivon, pero since tapos na sila, kapag-introduce na tayo at lahat, and nakapagkamustahan naman tayo, I would like to welcome everyone back dito sa Kalambag. And this time kasi, as Shivon mentioned, special kasi itong episode kasi it's our Christmas year-end special episode. And kasama natin Kalambag. And before tayo mag-goodbye sa 2025, gusto natin mag-pause, di ba? Gusto natin mag-reflect. At gusto natin tingnan kung saan na tayo ngayon compared sa kung nasan tayo nung nagsimula ang taon. So for today's episode, it's all about you, your year, your growth, your struggles, your wins. Kaya grab anything that get you comfortable kasi unlike as I mentioned a while ago, unlike our previous episodes which only runs from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Today's episode is very very special. Kasi nabigyan tayo ng one more extra hour para pag-usapan yung episode natin today. Kaya sabayan niyo ako sa reflection na ito. Kasi this isn't about perfect answers, okay guys? Hindi man kailangan perfect answer niyo. Hindi kailangan super ganda, super kabog. This is about being real. Kaya let's dive in. Kasi, nung nag-umpisa, di ba, yung 2025, alam ko marami pa tayong expectations, di ba? Marami tayong plano. Marami tayong takot kasi hindi natin alam kung what's in store for us this coming year. And alam kong marami tayong hindi alam. Some of us made big plans. Some of us just wanted to survive the year. But now na nandito na tayo sa dulo, at looking back, I think each of us has that one word na sumasalo sa lahat eh. Alam niyo yung feeling na like, when someone asks you, how was your year? And napapapause ka lang kasi ang dami mong gustong sabihin pero at the same time, parang may isang word lang na talagang sumasalo sa lahat. And it may be growth kasi you feel like you've changed so much. It may be survival kasi you went through hell and back. Or maybe awakening kasi you saw things differently this year. But whatever that word is, it's yours and it holds your entire story. Kaya, kung may isang salita na maglalarawan sa buong 2025 mo, ano yun? At bakit yun yung sumasalo sa buong kwento mo ngayong taon? What is that one word that describes your whole year? So, gusto ko munang tanungin yung ating bagong episode, ating bagong kasama dito sa Kalambag and bagong member ng Team LHS, Jessie.
Hi, good afternoon po ulit. I believe one word to describe my 2025 siguro is plot twist. Because I've made big plans this year and hindi siya literally sumunod sa plan ko yung flow ng life. And there's a lot of things na nangyari na hindi ko ina-expect. One more thing is, ito yung year na napilitan siguro ako lumabas sa comfort zone ko kasi minsan dahil kailangan ko or minsan pinipilit ko yung sarili ko and because of that, ang daming bagay tungkol sa sarili ko na-discover ko din this year. Kaya I believe yun din yung one word to explain my year, plot twist talaga. And not in a bad way, but in a good way, plus plot twist naman.
Ayan, thank you, Jessie. So, plot twist, yung isang word na describe ng taon niya this year. So, actually gusto ko yung word na yan, plot twist. Parang, pati ako, maraming plot twist na nangyari this year. Pero sige. Thank you, Jessie. How about sa'yo, Siobhan? What is that one word?
I don't know if like sobrang cliche doon, pero siguro ano rin, roller coaster. No, like in a year talaga, masasabi talaga nating sa dami natin pinagdaanan, so many ups and downs. yung bumpy, what do you call this? Bumpy road, something kinemerut, ganyan. Dami mong may experience, di mo malaman kung tama ba yung nararamdaman mo sa isang specific situation, what to do, what to decide. Ganon. Like, for me, I think the word roller coaster sums up my whole year siguro. And yeah, ayun.
Grabe, roller coaster. Parang ang laki ng word na yun, pero that means 25, yung 2025 para sa iyo, it wasn't just about small changes, no? Roller coaster kasi paikot-ikot, paiba-iba, may ups and downs. So, I'm curious, like, do you feel like a different person now compared to the start of the year? Because roller coaster, parang hindi siya surface level eh. It's about how you see yourself. Parang nag-iba yung, nag-iba yung pagtingin mo sa sarili mo, how you move through life. Parang ang deep niya eh, ang deep niyang word eh. So, tanong ko lang sa'yo, Shivon, follow-up question lang. Do you feel like you're a different person now?
Definitely, like, yun nga, sabi din ni Jessie na like, ang daming, ang tawag dito, nag-step out siya ng comfort zones niya, ang dami niyang ginawa na mga bagay na hindi niya in-expect na kaya niyang gawin. Siguro meron ding mga moments, na like, I had to think twice kung tama yung gagawin ko siguro for a moment. Kasi, syempre, there's like pros and cons, di ba? So, like, kahit na sobrang, siguro hindi ko gusto yung magiging effects sa akin, sooner or later, magiging okay. Di ba? Ayun.
Thank you, Shivon. Thank you. So, kasi parang sometimes it's only when you look back that you realize na you've come so far eh. And I hope na you're giving yourself credit for that. Kasi it's a really honorable thing na you've become the person that you are now. So thank you, Shivon. Sino pa kaya? How about sa'yo, Kuya Justin?
So, para sa akin is simple lang siya, which is perseverance. So, I've lately realized na yung college life pala is hindi siya madali. So, when I go into the college, na culture shock talaga ako. It's because of how can I manage siguro yung mga projects, demo, and etc. So, siguro at this year, ito yung pinaka-challenging task para sa akin for me to grow, for me to go out of my shell siguro para mag-grow na din at siguro para maging matuto at to be a future teacher. So, naging challenge siya para sa akin is because para sa akin is yung sa school namin which is yung senior high school pa ako is kumbaga naging comfort zone ko yun, like grabe yung confidence ko sa school na yon, participative ako, but when it comes to college talagang nag-iba na lang yung perspective ko. It's because ang napaka-wide na, and one thing that I've learned is that your knowledge is not enough. And I think it is really necessary for us to understand each other, for us to value the perspective of others so that we could learn. Yun lang naman, Levin.
Thank you, Kuya Justin. So perseverance, very nice word. Sige. How about sa'yo, Kuya Akim?
Naka-mute pala ako, no? So, of course, no? Kung meron man akong word na ma-describe this tawag neto, this 2025, of course, no? Resilient. Oo. Lalaban at hindi babawi. Oh, sex bomb yun. No? So, alam mo, siguro sabihin na natin na hindi naging madali yung taon para sa akin. But it's up to us kung paano natin siya ilalaban. Ipagpapatuloy yung buhay, ano man yung mangyari. Kasi January pa lang, January pa lang, mayroon na tayong mga unexpected things. Sabi niyo, may plot twist kanina, may roller coaster kanina, no? Then of course, may mga, basta, alam ko hindi tayo pare-parehan ng ng sapatos na sinusuot. I mean, hindi tayo pare-parehan ng mga pinagdadaanan sa buhay. Pero ito lang yung talagang tumatak sa akin na it's always be tawag nito, embrace yourself no matter what happen. Of course, embrace your weakness and turns it into your strength. Hindi pwede na ma-stuck ka lang sa isang bagay na sa tingin mo ito na yung katapusan. And kumbaga ako yung testament na ano man yung mangyari, oo, kahit sabihin na natin binagsakan na tayo ng hollow block mula sa langit, kayang-kaya pa rin natin, no? Kasi in the end of the day, tayo lang din yung tutulong sa ating sarili, despite of what is really happening in our country, especially sa atin, especially the mental health na naalala ko diniscuss ni Day Meryl sa other school sa North Cotabato. Of course, kasama ako doon. And I'm very happy na sa discussion na yon ni Meryl, na-touch din ako kasi lahat tayo nag-struggle minsan ng mental health. But in the end of the day, wag nating hayaan na kontrolin tayo ng lungkot at lumbay. Instead, kailangan natin bumangon at wag tulugan kung ano man yung pinagdaraanan natin. Kapon ka. Back to you, Levin.
Oh, thank you, Kuya Akim. So, resilience. Grabe. Parang ang powerful talaga ng word na yun. Kasi, sa word pa lang na yun, though in-explain mo kung bakit, sa word pa lang na yun, it tells me that 2025 wasn't easy for you. Because, di ka naman pwede maging resilient lagi-lagi, di ba? In the good times, di ba? You don't become resilient in the good times. We become resilient kasi pag tinetest tayo, when life knocks us down, we have to figure out how to get back up. And when everything feels like parang nahuhulog na siya, it's falling apart, but we somehow find a way to hold it together. Kaya nating kumapit. So if resilience is your word, that means you went through something. Probably multiple things that could have broken you. But hindi ka nasira eh. And that's everything talaga. Thank you, Kuya Akim, for sharing. How about sa'yo, Lian?
If I would think one word, siguro technically two words siya, which is surprise box. As in literal na surprise box. Kasi, ang daming surprises since the beginning of 2025 pa lang. Ang daming ganap and dami akong unexpected na nakuha and at same time may mga nangyaring hindi ko nagustuhan and at the end of ng mga nangyari na hindi ko nagustuhan, may mga natutunan naman ako. So I would say it's a surprise box na napaka-random kasi andun yung may masamang nangyari pero I did what I could. Andun yung mga magandang nangyari na di ko na-expect na makukuha ko or may maa-attain na ako doon na I was not expecting nung nakaraang quarter, nung technically, after nung first sem is yung hirap na hirap ako sa ACADS ko. Di ko in-expect na pasado pa ako. Like, pasado in which na nakapasok pa ako sa honor roll. So, di ko in-expect yun kasi in-expect ko, di na ako papasa ng honors at some point. Kasi like, yung iniiyakan ko na yung chem ko, yung mga ganun ko, iniiyakan ko na yung mga ibang subjects ko kasi di ko siya nag-get. Pero overall, yun, surprise box kasi yun, ang daming ganap. So, yun lang. Thank you, Levin.
Thank you, Lian. Surprise back. Okay. Medyo, kasi surprise can go so many ways, di ba? And curious lang ako kasi, was it good surprises, bad surprises, or both ba? Because when someone says their year were full of surprises, it usually means that they had zero control over what was happening. So, gusto ko lang tanungin, was it good, was it bad, or both ba yun?
I would say both. Lahat na nangyari may pros and cons, pero both siya. May times na natutuwa ako sa nangyari, may times na, ba't nangyari yun? Ganon. Yun, di ko talaga siya kontrolado. So, pero yun, nagagawa naman ng paraan. Kaya I would say both.
Thank you, Lian. So, ang ganda ng mga sagot niyo. Na-curious talaga ako dun sa iba. Kasi minsan, isa lang talaga yung salita na sumasalo sa lahat, diba? Pwedeng, yun, minention kanina, perseverance, pwedeng resilience, yun, surprise, pwedeng roller coaster. Basta yung isang word na pag narinig mo, nare-remind ka ng lahat ng pinagdaanan mo. And alam mo yung pinaka-interesting, yung mga salita kasing yan, hindi natin sila pinili randomly. They come at specific moments that really hit different, moments na nag-shift ng perspective natin, and life-changing moments that don't always come. Minsan kasi they happen in the most ordinary days, the most unexpected situations talaga. And I remember kasi someone telling me na sometimes the moment that changes us aren't always the big dramatic ones. Hindi siya malaking moment sa buhay natin. Hindi siya minsan siya pinaka unexpected. Minsan it's a quiet realization. Minsan it's a conversation na akala mo casual lang pero naglilinger siya sa isip mo, parang nagsistay siya sa isip mo for days and days. Minsan it's a loss, minsan it's a win, minsan a mistake or a risk. Pero whatever it is, nandun yung shift nandun yung point na iba na yung tingin mo sa mundo compared sa before. Iba na yung perspective mo on things around you, on your surroundings. Kaya, anong isang pangyayari na or moment ngayong taon na talagang tumama sa'yo or tumatak sa'yo and nagbago sa pananaw mo sa buhay? Is there something, isang pangyayari, isang moment talaga? Yung moment na yun, gusto kong, if possible, ma-share nyo. So, si Kuya Akim, feeling ko, may gustong ikwento to si Kuya Akim. Kanina pa, nung minention ko yan, nakangiti na siya agad eh. So, Kuya Akim,
Oo.
tanungin kita.
Actually, lahat kayo alam nyo na to eh, oo. Actually, sige, ganito yan. Lahat naman siguro sa ganitong edad ko, walang mag-expect na magkakaroon ako ng isang sakit. Sige, sabi natin, sakit na hindi pangkaraniwan sa edad ko. Kahit ako naman na. Nung sumabak ako sa review para sa licensure examination, sabihin ko, oo, handa ako. Physically, mentally, oo. But nakalimutan ko physically, parang tinitira na pala yung katawan ko noon. No? Kasi nga, nag-exam ako nandun yung sintomas ng diabetes na kung saan ihi ako ihi, inom ako ng tubig, tapos sa licensure examination ako. Gusto kong lumabas para umihi, but the proctor wasn't allow me. It's because when you are inside the classroom or the examination room, you only given twice in one day na lumabas para mag-CR. Isipin nyo, ganun kahirap na kailangan kong pigilan yung ihi ko para tapusin yung licensure examination na yon. Hilong-hilo pa ako noon kasi di ko alam may anemic na pala ako noon. Kumbaga, ang hirap noon that time. At such time na after 1 month, pinush ako ng kuya ko na magpa-check up, and that time, ayun, doon na nalaman na ito pala daw ang taas ng sugar ko, no, 19. Oo, ewan ko, i-convert at yan sa magkaibang measurement, nakalimutan ko na yung term. Basta 19 yung first test ko. Syempre, sino pa naman hindi guguha ang mundo noon, no? Plus, the people around you, the stigma, yung salita nila na sabihin na natin, guilty ka kasi totoo. Unhealthy living ka, yes, oo, nandun na tayo. Ang tanong, sa situation na ba yun ba yung kailangan, yun ba yung words na kailangan kong marinig? No? Yun ba yung words na kailangan kong marinig for me na makatulong sa akin para ma-overcome yung takot? Plus, social media. Nandiyan yung social media na kung ano-ano yung lumalabas doon. If you have this, just watch this. Tapos, yung image doon is meron something na nakakapag-trigger ng anxiety. Actually, nagsimula talaga yung anxiety ko doon. Until such time na parang lumala until na parang kinokontrol na ako ng anxiety na yon. May mga iba na, may times pa na nagpapatest ako ng ibang mga test na hindi naman sana. Pero dahil nga may anxiety, parang hinayaan ko na kontrolin ako noon. Siguro dahil lang din doon. Then late ko na na-realize na bakit ako may ganito? Wala naman akong ganito, di naman ako nagganito, ganon. So kaya natawa si Mel sa akin kahapon, no? Oo, no, dahil may mga ganon situation. But I'm very lucky, it's because I cannot say that I am totally healed doon sa anxiety kasi may kinakabahan pa tayo sa lalabas yung results, no? But alam kong kakayanin ko dahil hindi ako papayagan ng Diyos na mananatili ako sa ganito. Tutulungan niya ako to embrace myself and of course, ipagpatuloy yung buhay ko. Back to you, Levin. Kapon ka.
Thank you, Kuya Akim. Grabe. getting diagnosed with diabetes, that kind of thing, parang na iikot yung mundo mo eh. Because suddenly, you're dealing with something that you have to manage every day, di ba? And that's a lot to parang process eh. Parang ako hindi ko kakayanin yun. And imagine, kwento ni Kuya Akim, the hardest part wasn't, hindi man, pero the hardest part wasn't yung diagnosis itself, but everything na parang dumating after yung adjusting na sinabi niya, yung minention niya, yung sa board exam niya, and probably like, siguro, Kuya Akim, it made you think na parang your health, parang naging mas tutok ka sa health mo in ways na hindi ka ganun katutok katulad ng dati. And siguro na-realize mo how much yung like, how much, ako na-realize ko how much we take our bodies for granted. Kaya gusto ko tanongin sa'yo, kasi na-curious ako eh. Did it change how you see other things too? Like, yung priorities mo, how you spend your time, the stuff you do, ganon. Because I feel like health, minsan pag natatakot ka sa health mo, pag may mga ganung bagay, parang everything is put into a perspective kasi yung mga small things, hindi na siya katulad ng dati.
Oo.
So, paano mo na-manage ito, Kuya Aki? Paano mo siya minamanage mo? Not just physically, but mentally. Kasi malaki adjustment yan eh. And feeling ko kasi, sa ibang mga platforms, hindi ito pa masyadong pinag-uusapan eh. So, tanungin lang kita, Kuya Aki. If okay lang.
Okay lang, of course, no? Because I think this experience could help other youth na, of course, to take care of themselves as well. So, after ng diagnosis ko na diabetes, ang dami kong na-realize, no, na kung ang kapalit ng lisensya ay ang kalusugan ko, kahit na wala akong lisensya, yun yung nasa mind ko. Then, of course, nandun pa yung tawag net, of course, yung takot, ganon. Pero sa akin talagang pinagdasal ko siya, na pinaniwalaan ko, na sabi ko na hindi ako ilalagay ng Panginoon sa ganitong sitwasyon at hindi rin niya ako pababayaan. And of course, nakatulong sa akin yung mga estudyante ko, no. Naalala ko, ininbitan nila ako na lumabas, have some fun, kumbaga banding outside. But hindi ko masabi na yung sakit ko, pero ayoko rin magsinungaling. Kahit hindi ako ready, kailangan kong magsabi ng totoo. Siyempre, mga teacher sabi, wag magsinungaling. Tapos ako tuloy magsisinungaling sa kanila. For what? So sinabi ko, instead na lumabas sila, ang ginawa nila, binisita ako sa bahay. Knowing na dumating sa point na nag-blur na yung paningin ko, halos wala na ako masyadong makita ganon. Kasi sobrang taas ng sugar ko, oo. And after that, sila rin mismo nagpa-realize sa akin na, sir, kailangan ka pa namin, ganon. Mas marami ka pang matutulungan in the future. Kailangan mong lumaban, nandito lang kami. No? Aside from that, dinala niya ako ng gulay, pinagluto nila ako. And I really appreciate that. Doon ako nabigyan ng pag-asa na kakayanin ko hindi lamang para sa akin, kundi para sa ibang tao. Kumbaga, yung mga tao na sa paligid mo, yung tunay na nagmamahal sa sila yung sila yung mag-aangat sa pataas. And of course, gabay ng Panginoon din. So, yun lamang level.
And thank you, Kuya Aki. So, I'm siguro happy ako para sa'yo kasi nakahanap ka ng support system. Mga tao talaga na tunay na nagmamalasakit para sa'yo, nagmamahal sa'yo. So, that's very nice, Kuya Aki. Thank you for sharing. So, how about naman sa'yo, Kuya Justin?
So, para sa akin naman is na-realize ko sa sarili ko ngayon is that, there are times that yung kalaban mo yung sarili mo, you cannot trust yourselves and you don't have enough confidence. So, example or situation na na-experience ko is I really love pageant. I don't know why. It's either because I'm a student leader or I love to advocate. But yung binigyan ako ng chance for Mr. Freshman, hindi ko siya kinuha na opportunity. It's because I am doubting myself. I am doubting my capabilities. But because of that, I grow. And of course, through the help na din ng ating Panginoon, I prayed as well as learned from my my teammates, my classmates, and of course my teacher. So because of that, nabigyan ulit ako ng pagkakataon to be on a pageant. And it really hits different when yun nga yung nakokontinue mo yung passion mo with the trust on yourself. And siguro I am planning to continue this kind of talaga, like ilalaban ko to is because I love this kind of doing or activities like hobby. So yan lang, level.
Thank you, Kuya Justin. Grabe talaga. Iba talaga yung dating pag nawawalan ka ng tiwala sa sarili mo. Kasi parang, yun yung isa sa mga pinakamahirap na pagdaanan. Kasi pag hindi mo na kayang tumiwala sa sarili mong judgment, your own decisions, your own instincts, parang wala kang solid ground. Parang everything feels uncertain. And the thing about losing self-trust, hindi kasi siya permanent. And I'm happy na nakahanap ka rin ng mga tao na sumuport sa'yo, tumulong sa'yo, gumabay sa'yo. And um, slowly, through small decisions na sinunod mo, through promises to yourself na kinikip mo, parang na-prove mo rin yung sarili mo. And I'm happy for you. So thank you for sharing, Kuya Justin. How about sa'yo, Jessie?
For me, siguro isang pangyayari o moment ngayong taon na nag-change ng pananaw ko is when I first joined the school press conference, specifically districts this year. So yung category ko kasi is mobile journalism. We're only given 2 hours to compose a whole video from script, editing, filming, tapos sa mismo interview. It is really overwhelming. Yun yung moment siguro na nakaka-pressure siya. It's mabigat siya sa pakiramdam yung mga oras na yon. Ramdam ko yung pressure ng oras, yun tapos yung takot na nagmamadali ako. Tapos yung kaba na baka hindi ko kayanin na ipasa yung output ko on time. Pero sa gitna ng lahat ng yon, I realized that kahit ilang beses ako ma-overwhelm, hindi humihinto ang oras. Life goes on, patuloy pa rin tumatakbo yung buhay natin at wala na tayong magagawa kundi go with the flow lamang. Tapos siguro, yun yung nag-change para daw ko na natutunan ko yung pressure. Hindi lang natin to minsan kaaway or it's not a negative thing. Pero minsan, pressure tests us not to see if we'll fail, but to show us that how far we can go. It is something that nagsusupport sa atin to really unleash the best versions of ourselves. So I believe that's the um, specific thing na nangyari sa akin that changed my perspective. Back to you, Levin.
Pressure. Yeah. Makes sense kasi journalism, press work, parang iba yung pressure niya eh. It's not like regular school work where you can redo things, you can submit late. When you're in press kasi, you're dealing with deadlines na hindi mo pwedeng i-move. Stories na kailangan accurate yung pagkasulat mo and deadlines, and mga tao na naghihintay sa output mo. And pag ganun kasi, all eyes are on you eh. So, thank you for sharing, Jessie. How about sa'yo, Shivon?
For me naman, I think yung isang moment ngayong year na talagang tumama rin sa akin is siguro yung like mentally down bad din ako. Pero hindi lang din naman ako, 'di ba? Um for sure lahat tayo nagkaroon ng moments na sobrang beaten up tayo ng mentally and emotionally. And I feel like yung mga simpleng gano'n na parang sobrang nahihirapan kang bumangon, yung nakakalimutan mong kumain, yung simpleng bagay na sobrang normal sa routine natin na akala natin normal, which is not in a normal person, nagagawa natin. So yun nga, yung nakakalimutan natin kumain, um, nahihirapan, ewan ko, for me parang nagkaroon ako ng experiences na gano'n na what do you call this? Yung sobrang bigat na bigat ka bumangon, ganon. In thinking na, ang dami ko na naman gagawin ngayong araw. Mabigat na naman, ganon. And parang change my perspective in a way na parang to strive better, to uh, think positively in a way na kapag mas tinuloy ko ngayon, may bukas pa. Wherein mas nagkakaroon ako ng hope na, tomorrow maybe it will be better. Maybe na mas gagaan siya. Yun yung way of thinking ko or yun yung nagbago sa pananaw.
And thank you, Siobhan. Thank you. So, thank you for sharing. Na-mention mo to think positive. I really like that, think positively. Kasi kahit bumagsak ka, kahit ang dami na nangyayari sa mundo, pag positive yung pagtingin, parang kakayanin mo at kakayanin mo pa rin bumangon. And that's what I like. I like thinking positively. So, thank you for sharing, Siobhan. So, real talk lang. Hindi lahat ng pagbabago kasi galing sa malaking like events. Minsan, yung as I mentioned a while ago, isang conversation or isang unexpected opportunity tapos biglang iba na yung tingin mo sa mundo. Yun, as you mentioned a while ago, ang gaganda ng mga sagot nyo. And I really feel na ang laki talaga ng naging reflection nyo throughout this year. And this episode, I feel like this episode is really special talaga. But here's the thing. Habang dumadaan tayo sa mga heavy moments na yan, habang we're processing all these changes, all these challenges, may mga simpleng bagay na nag-anchor sa atin, tumulong sa atin, and you know what, yung isang bagay na yun, kasi sana nagigets nyo, yung mga bagay na parang lifeline na ginawa nating rason para mag-smile kahit may hirap. Kasi let's be real, 2025 wasn't easy for anyone. We had our battles. Yung iba public, yung iba private. We all had days na parang ayaw natin bumangon as some of you mentioned a while ago. But there were these small things, these tiny pockets of joy, as I say, na naging light sa gitna ng darkness natin. Maybe it's yung morning routine mo. Maybe yung isang kaibigan na kaya niyang patawahin ka kahit anong nangyayari sa araw mo, kahit kaano kalungkot ka, kahit kaano ka stress ka. Or maybe yung paborito mong panoorin, yung paborito mong ulam, yung playlist na lagi mong pinapakinggan. At first, para sa atin, parang maliliit lang na bagay ito, pero these aren't just small things. Sila yung naging survival kit natin. Sila yung like reminder natin na may parang reason, may mga tumutulong pa rin sa atin para mag-continue. So sa dami na nangyari ngayong taon, anong isang simpleng bagay na pinagsasalamatan mo? Yung, as I mentioned, small joy na naging lifeline mo this year. So gusto ko tanungin ikaw, Kuya Justin, ano yung naging small pocket of joy mo na tumulong maging lifeline mo?
So, na-realize ko lately na, loving myself and loving the people around me. Yun yung talaga yung nakaparealize sa akin that, I need to take care of myself. I need to study. I need to take care of my physical health, mental, and etc. Spiritual, of course. So, kailangan siya balance. And also din sa aking family is that kailangan ko silang, bigyan ng importante or importance is because yun nga, they are the one that, kumbaga pag may problema ka, there are times na kailangan mo, sila talaga yung magko-comfort sa'yo, like, mafe-feel mo talaga that you are accepted, na wala talagang bias or somewhat like tatanggapin ka nila ng buo. And siguro kahit small lang na act na yun is that it changed me this year. It's because yun na nga, I've been not or hindi kasi ako masyadong nag-give ng time sa family ko. And this year, so binibigyan ko na siya ng panahon. So siguro plano ko ngayong vacation is bisitahin yung lola ko from other province. And I think it is really essential for me to get close to them. For them to, yun nga, yung para suklian yung mga ginawa nila sa akin nung kailangan ko sila. Yun lang naman, Levin.
Ayun, thank you Kuya Kuya Justin. So, I really like your answer. Kasi para sa akin, it's everything eh. Having that one person or those people who just get it. Alam nila eh. Who shows up for you constantly. Who's just not like, hindi siya isang malit na bagay. It's not a small thing. That's a lifeline to its truest sense. Because hindi mo pwedeng laruin yung larong buhay mag-isa. You can't do life alone. We're not meant to eh. And I think para sa'yo, and I hope para rin sa iba sa ating nanonood, 2025 really shows us that it really shows us na kailangan talaga natin yung mga relationships, mga people sa paligid natin. The people who stayed, the people who checked in, the people who made space for us even when they had their own. And those, I feel like, are the real ones. Sila yung mga tunay. And I hope na nasabi nyo sa kanila how much they mean to you. How much sila nakatulong sa inyo. Because sometimes kasi napapansin ko, parang nakakalimutan na natin ito eh. We assume people know eh. But sometimes kasi, gusto nilang marinig to syempre. They need to hear it. So yeah, if a person was your lifeline this year, a person was someone who supported you, someone who made a big impact to you, that's a beautiful thing. And I'd suggest to hold on to that, to protect that, and if ever, if possible, to return that energy when you can. Because yung mga connections na ganun, rare yan eh. Hindi yan basta-basta. Hindi lahat ng tao may mga ganyang connections eh. And that's what makes it precious. So, thank you, Kuya Justin. Sana makip mo yan. Sana napapasalamatan mo yung mga taong yan. So, thank you for sharing. How about sa'yo, Jessie?
Siguro, a small thing siguro sa dami ng nangyayari sa buhay natin, yung simpleng bagay siguro na pinagpapasalamat ko. Hindi siya literally simple. Siguro yung late night chats with my friends. Tapos siguro katulad ng sinabi mo, may mga playlist cause sometimes even though life goes hard or like roller coaster yung buhay natin, when I listen to music, it really calms me down. Tapos yung, like what I said is yung late night chats with my friends, parang it really shows the connection between each other na like dun ko nafe-feel yung support na parang hindi sila malaki pero sila yung nagsalba ng taon ko. Tapos yun yung parang proof or like nag-help sa akin na maramdaman ko or ma-realize ko sa sarili ko na okay lang pala ako today. And I believe that's the small or the simplest thing na ipagpapasalamat ko this year that may be big or small to the other people then.
Ayan, thank you, Jessie. So, yung activity na yun, yung pakikinig ng music, pag-chat sa friends late at night, probably gave you something nothing else could, di ba? And I hope for others nakaka-relate sila. Like, ako nakaka-relate ako kasi when nandun ako, pag ginagawa ko yung bagay na yun, everything else fades away. Pag nakikinig akong music, the stress, the anxiety, the noise, parang nagko-quiet down siya eh, parang tumatahimik yung paligid ko. Parang nasa isang space ako kung saan nandun lang ako, I'm fully present and na parang yung saya, yung saya, yung sorry. Yung saya ko, nandun na siya. So, thank you, Jessie, for sharing. Nakarinig talaga ako sa sinabi mo. How about sa'yo, Siobhan?
Siguro, narinig ko kasi yung answers nila, di ba? It's more of like sa mga tao talaga. And siguro, ang naisip ko talaga, I don't know why, pero ice cream. For me, di ba? Simple lang siya. Pero siguro, i-relate ko siya sa ice cream therapy. I don't know why, pero siguro, comfort zone ko yung ice cream. So, if ever na like, let's say, bad day, may bad moments, ganon, ang tatakbuhan ko is 7-Eleven or si Uncle John's. Diyan tayo bibili ng ice cream. I don't know why, pero there's something about it na parang it gives me a sense of calm na parang sinasabihan ako or nire-remind ako na okay lang, slow down. Di kailangan lahat mamadaliin kasi, and like na-assess mo lang din yung emotions mo, yung naiisip mo, na-appreciate mo kung ano yung nasa harap mo. Small act lang siya, pero for some reason, nare-reassure ako in a very uncertain moments. Kunyari, ayun nga, pag may bad day ka. So,
Mm.
ayun. Para lang din to relieve yung joy na meron. Yan ang Levin. Thank you.
Thank you. Sa totoo lang, comfort foods, para sa akin kasi parang super underrated niya. Kasi,
Mm.
parang napansin ko, we live in a culture kung saan lagi tayong sinasabihan na kailangan natin i-optimize lahat. Kailangan natin mag-productive, kailangan natin mag-hustle. But sometimes you just need that thing to make you feel safe. And as Siobhan shared, ice cream. So, food does that kasi. It's tied to kasi yung memory, yung emotion na naging lifeline this year. And something as simple as your favorite food or yung sinabi nga ni Siobhan, yung ice cream niya. Or para sa akin, siguro yung comfort food ko is yung go-to coffee order ko, yung caramel macchiato. So, valid yun and totoo yun. So, minsan kasi pag parang i-judge ka ng ibang tao, pero don't let anyone make you feel na yung source of comfort mo has to be something profound as Shimon mentioned, yung ibang mga kasama natin, more on relationships, more on people. Pero siya, something simple lang siya. And that could still be profound. Hindi siya naman kailangan maging Instagram worthy eh. And if it keeps you going, if it brings you to even a moment of peace, I think para sa akin, it matters. And sana agree naman kayo. I believe it's enough. So, thank you, Shivon. How about sa'yo, Kuya Akim?
Hmm. Siguro marami sa akin ano, kahit nalapan yung kahit sasabihin na natin nagkaano na 'tong buhay natin, pero maraming rason para tayong ngumiti, 'no? Kahit mga simple lang gaya ng of course nasabi kanina ni Jessie 'no, yung pakikinig ng music, 'no? I remember yung song ng Twice na Feel Special. Yun talaga yung ano, yung laging before pa, yan yung naging song ko every time na ano, kasi parang nagpa-realize sa'kin na ano man mangyari may liwanag sa dilim, na kahit nasa gitna ka ng tawag nito, kalungkutan gano'n, meron pa ring mga tao na ipaparamdam sa'yo na special ka, na nandiyan sila palagi para sa'yo, parang gano'n yung feeling, yung vibes ng kanta na yun. And of course nun, naano ko 'yan, na-discover ko 'yan aside from my family, yung mga taong nagmamahal sa'kin and of course nandito sa Kalambag ano, na talagang naging comfort zone ko na rin sa 5 taon ko nandito kasi whole college journey ko yata nandito ako sa Kalambag and of course nung nagsisimula ako as a student dito yung high school, nandito na rin ako sa Kalambag. And of course 'no, sa mga ano, mga simpleng araw gaya nito, bored gano'n, kadalasan pinapanood ko 'no is yung Pipito Manaloto kasi aside from funny siya, may matutunan tayong lesson in the end. Yun yung napakaimportante na hindi lang puro tawa, hindi lang puro ayun, kundi dapat may matutunan din tayo sa bandang huli and yun yung lagi ko talagang pinapanood 'no. And of course, hindi lang tawa yung naano ko, super, super tawa na talagang naging coping mechanism ko siya sa paglaban ng anxiety ko. So, yun lang, Levin.
Thank you, Kuya Akim. So, minsan yung pinakamaliit na bagay, katulad ng um, minention ni Shivon kanina yung ice cream niya or yung minention ni Jessie kanina, yung late night talks kasama yung mga kaibigan niya or yung paborito ni Kuya Akim na kanta or yung mga bagay na nag-anchor sa atin when we felt na everything was too heavy. Pero syempre, hindi lang naman puro gratitude and small joys ang 2025. Minsan kasi may mga tough calls na ginawa natin this year, yung mga decisions na kinabahan tayo. Pero deep
Oo.
inside, alam natin kailangan natin gawin. And these are decisions, I think, that define us the most. Kasi di ba, it's easy to make a decision when you're confident. It's easy to say yes when you know it's going to work out. Pero kasi, you're making decisions na ginawa mo kahit takot ka. Yung mga times na yung parang hindi mo alam if you're going to make the right choice. Pero ginawa mo pa rin kasi you took the chance. Feeling ko kasi those are real character defining moments. Yun talagang humubog sa'yo. Kaya maybe you choose a difficult path kasi you knew it was right for you. Kasi kahit everyone was telling you otherwise, maybe you took a risk na kala mo di mo kaya. Whatever it is, alam kong you did it scared, you did it doubtful, you did it without any trust in yourself. But that took courage. Kaya anong isang desisyon na kinatatakutan mong gawin nung una? Something na nagse-second guess ka, iniisip mo talaga if yun yung tama. Pero thankful ka ngayon na hindi mo siya tinakbuhan, hindi mo siya nilusutan, hindi mo siya in-avoid. Tanungin kita, Jessie.
Siguro, isang decision na kinatatakutan ko nung una, pero I'm very thankful na um, hindi ko siya tinakbuhan is siguro yung first is pag-join ko sa Jorn since that is when I realized that it is actually one of my passions and I'm now considering na to take it sa college and that is one decision na I'm very thankful na ginawa ko. And siguro isa pa is na kinatatakutan ko nung una is yung pag-take ng responsibilities and yung challenges na hindi ko sure kung kaya ko. Natakot ako sa sarili kong expectations pero thankful ako kasi dun ko nakita na mas malakas pala tapos kaya ko din pala yung gawin yung mga bagay na yon. Tapos despite the fact na dinadoubt ko yung sarili ko, na-realize ko din na um, yun nga, na-realize ko na kaya ko palang gawin. That's actually one of the biggest plot twists and ang saya pa rin na ginawa ko. Back to you po.
Ayun. Taking risks. Nakakatakot siya actually. Kasi when we don't know what is going to happen, what it's going to stem from. Like, what if it doesn't work? Ayun, sinabi mo, self-doubt. What if I fail? What if I do? Weird. All those fears are valid. They're real kasi. And you know what's scarier? Living with regret. Living with the what if. And yung, uh, hindi mo kasi napipigilan na matakot. Hindi mo mapipigilan. And sometimes, yung takot, hindi ka mapipigilan. You felt fear, but you did it anyway. Ako kasi, para sa akin, that's the definition of courage. It's not about not being scared. It's about being scared and moving forward regardless. So, thank you, Jessie, for sharing. How about sa'yo, Shivon?
Siguro for me, uh, I don't know if like siya personal or what, pero siguro yung decision na kinakatakutan kong gawin noong una is like, unexpected siya kasi, di ba, alam mo yung closing another chapter with that person na talaga nakita mong may future ka. So, yun nga, so relationship siya. So, unexpected siya in a way na I feel like lahat naman tayo, di ba ganun? Like, hindi natin expect na mag-end tayo ng relationship with this person kasi sobrang napamahal ka, naging close talaga kayo, may bond talaga. And kasi like, mag-iiba, may change. And change is scary talaga, di ba? So, di ko alam noong una paano ko mag-cope, paano ko uusad, paano ko mag-forward knowing na yung person na yon is wala na and like naramdaman ko rin na sobrang dependent ko sa kanya nun, which is so wrong. Dapat like, pero ang na-realize ko din is like, nung dati naman, kaya ko naman. So what's the difference between today na ngayon, wala siya and dati nawala rin siya. So, di ba? Thank you.
Okay, so, living is never easy, syempre. Leaving someone you love. This could be a relationship, personal relationship, or baka relationship with your family. even when you know you should do it kasi, hindi siya madali eh. Even when the people around you can see na minsan hindi siya maganda sa'yo, there's always yung isang boses kasi sa utak ko na, what if I'm making a mistake? Yung doubt, parang bumabalik lang tayo, yung self-doubt na what if I'm making a mistake? What if I regret this? What if I'm throwing away something, as Siobhan mentioned? Baka may tinatapon ako na makakatulong sa akin sa future. But yung fear kasi keeps so much people stuck in a relationship that's slowly draining them. And now that you're off it, gusto ko kita tanongin, Siobhan. What is the biggest difference you feel? Kasi I imagine, I'm not sure eh, baka mali ako, pero I imagine kasi it's not just belief. Baka clarity. Baka may space ka na to figure out who you are without constantly adjusting yourself to fit in what they need. Parang yung freedom, ganun. So, gusto ko kita tanungin, what's the biggest difference, Siobhan?
Like kung ano yung difference nung duration no, paano ako nung sa relationship tsaka paano ako ngayon? Yun ba tama ba?
Ano yung napansin mong biggest difference sa nararamdaman?
Siguro that during nung nasa relationship ako, I was like willing to take risk talaga to be with that person. Parang I let go. Kunyari, may mga sidelines ako or like let's say mga clubs. Mayroong moments talaga na mas pinipili ko siya instead of sa mga sinalihan ko. Alam mo yun, parang just to spend time with that person. Kasi, syempre, naging comfort zone mo rin siya for a moment. And ngayon, like, mas naging, ngayon, parang ano ko siya sasabi. Like, mas nakikita ko yung sarili ko na mas nagiging open ako towards meeting other people na unlike dati kasi parang feel ko masyado rin akong close nun kasi I don't know if kasi kung nasa relationship ako nun na like di ako open na makipagsalamuha with other people. Ayun, parang ganun. Parang medyo closed ako dati and like ngayon na very open with other people. Ayun.
I see. Thank you for sharing, Siobhan. Yung mga desisyon na yan, yung nakakaba pa pero ginagawa mo pa rin, yun yung mga nagde-define sa journey natin, di ba? At yung mga ganyang bagay kasi, yun din yung nagtuturo sa atin ng isang important na lesson. Minsan love kasi, hindi siya yung romantic kind eh. Meron iba't ibang klase love. And this year, marami tayong natutunan about relationships. As katulad ni Siobhan, with ourselves, with our friends, with our families. And I think that's one of the most underrated lessons we learn as we grow up. Habang tumatanda tayo. Love, yung ibig, hindi siya parang yung romantic na nakita natin sa palabas. Minsan, it's about yung connections natin with people. It's about boundaries. It's about showing up. It's about yung forgiveness. And maybe you learned na it's okay to love yourself first. Pero maybe you realize that not all friendships are meant to last forever. And para sa akin, sana makarelate. I feel like that's okay. Maybe you discovered na hindi lang naman yung family mo or hindi lang may mga kaibigan mo they aren't perfect. Pero they're trying. Yung ganung bagay. And so are you. So whatever lesson you learned, it shaped you. It changed how you see relationships, how you show up for people, and how you show up for yourself. So gusto ko tanungin sa inyong lahat, ano ang natutunan nyo ngayong taon tungkol sa pagmamahal? Love sa sarili. As I mentioned, maraming klaseng love eh. Pero pwede itong love sa sarili, love sa friends, or love sa pamilya. Anong natutunan mo ngayong taon? Tanungin kita, Kuya Justin.
So, based from what I've said earlier, so love from myself. So, yun nga, iniingatan ko na yung sarili ko. I take care of myself physically and mentally. And also loving my friends. Lately, I've realized that friends, as well as your surrounding yun nga yung sinasabi nila na, tell me who your friends are, and I tell you who you are. So, with that kind of perspective, I've realized that mas madami akong natututunan sa mga kaibigan ko. It's just a matter of choice kung sino yung papanigan mo or sino yung ito-choose mo to be your friends. And I think it is really an advantage when pipili ka ng mga kaibigan that would bring you up and that would bring you down, that would cater your own perspective, ideas, and thought. And because of that kind of siguro comfort na binibigay nila is nag-grow ka to be a persons na yun nga yung gusto mo in the future. And mas nakaka-boost din siya ng confidence as well as kumbaga may standing point. So, siguro love for family. Essential din siya. It's because, yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, sila talaga yung foundation. Sila talaga yung, kumbaga nagbibigay sa atin ng hope, ng pag-asa para mabuhay, para lumaban. And also, I'm doing this, nag-aaral ako para sa kanila so that I could give them a better life. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin, di ba? And siguro important yung pamilya para sa atin.
Thank you, Kuya Justin. And totoo naman yun, family is important. Pero sometimes family is complicated. And I think we need to talk about that more kasi we are taught to love our family unconditionally, to forgive endlessly, and to stay loyal no matter what. But sometimes kasi, family hurts. Sometimes family is the source of our pain. And learning to navigate that, learning to love them from a distance or love them while also protecting ourselves or yourselves. That's hard kasi, and that takes so much emotional intelligence. So, thank you for sharing, Kuya Justin. Pero if you learned this year how to set boundaries with families, how to love them without losing yourself, how to accept them as they are, while also respecting your needs, your own needs. I feel like that's huge. That's growth because di nyo mapapansin pero family relationships often kasi complex siya eh. Sila pa yung mga pinaka-complex eh. And makahanap ka lang ng balance doon. Malaking bagay na yun. So, thank you Kuya Justin for sharing. Gusto ko lang rin magdagdag. How about sa iyo, Jessie?
Siguro, this year, I learned sa love is hindi natin kailangan ibigay ang lahat or we don't really have to give our everything just to show our love or just to make them feel that we love them. Syempre, kailangan din meron tayong self-love kasi we have to set boundaries with these set of people. For in terms of our friends, we have to choose the right set of people. Kasi hindi natin sure kung sino ba talaga yung makakasama natin till the end or throughout our life. And of course, sa family naman natin, katulad ng sinabi mo, loving our family is kind of hard, but personally, I still do my best because as long as we love each other, since our family is the first set of people na nandito talaga sa atin ever since that we were born in this world. And of course, if we give love to other people, to our friends or family, kailangan din natin mahalin yung sarili natin. We have to love ourselves because how can we love other people kung hindi natin mahal ang sarili natin? And siguro one more thing is love is not a fast process. It's slow and steady process. Kaya dapat hindi natin ito minamadali. And we really have to choose the right set of people to love. So, yun lang naman siguro.
Ayun. Thank you, Jessie. You can't love, mention mo kanina, yung sinabi mo, ano yan?
You can't love other people if you don't love yourself. So, yun.
You can't love other people if you don't love yourself. That itself says na self-love is the foundation of everything. And masaya ako na na-mention mo to kasi we can't give what we don't have, di ba? We can't show up for others pag tayo mismo is empty tayo. We can't love fully if we don't love ourselves. And self-love kasi, it isn't selfish eh. Parang survival siya. Survival siya in a sense na you're saying na I matter too. Parang it's choosing yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. So whatever lesson you learned about self-love this year, whatever lesson you gained, I hope na pinapractice nyo pa rin ito. I hope you keep choosing yourself because that's the kind of love that changes everything.
Ah,
So thank you, Jessie, for sharing. How about sa'yo, Kuya Acton?
sige, thank you so much, no? So, nandiyan na tayo dun sa love from God, love from the country, love from the family, love for history and culture and whatsoever, no? And agree ako sa sinabi nila Jessica yun at saka ni Justin na of course yung loving yourself and you cannot give what you don't have, no? And siguro yung akin na lang ngayon is siguro loving myself or loving my peace of mind siguro. Sometimes kasi kahit napakasimple lang nito, even though when I was in high school and I was in college, kahit yung mga high school at saka mga teenagers makaka-relate nito, kapag may mga crush tayo, alam naman natin, 'di ba, 'di man maiiwasan 'no, na may mga crush tayo sometimes, 'no, 'di talaga naiiwasan 'yan. And of course, tayo kasi nandun yung parang doubt sa atin na what if sabihin ko, kung sasabihin ko ba na crush ko siya, ano ba yung mangyayari? Nakadepende yan sa intention mo eh. Kaya kaya sa akin kasi may importante sa akin yung confession, no? And of course, kung magko-confess man ako, hindi ibig sabihin that I ask someone a chance, may chance ba kami o wala. Dina-direct to the point ko siya na I'm not doing this to ask you a chance kung meron ba o wala. But, kumbaga, just to inform you and of course, para lang sa peace of mind ko. Kasi, ayaw ko kung na-experience yan, yung parang parang dumating sa point na dilulo ka na, oo. Yung dilulo na point na tawag nito yung kung ano-ano pumapasok sa isip mo. I mean na yung parang yung puppy love na yon eh sometimes kumokontrol na sa'yo, gano'n. Yung parang lagi na lang siya iniisip mo. Alam ko maraming makaka-relate nito, oo. Pero sa'kin kasi to combat that, kino-confess ko na and after that wala na, ayun na. But in the end of the day, yung crush ko na pinag-confessan ko na yon is friends ko na. Friend na kami nun kasi kumbaga direct to the point ako kapag mag-confess and ini-specify ko talaga ano yung intention ko, ba't ako nag-confess. And clear naman talaga na hindi ako naghahabol ng chance gano'n. Ang akin lang is magkaroon ako ng peace of mind. And of course, I hope after this, we can still be friends. And siguro parang doon din umami yung yung parang friends ko rin dahil sa confession. Sa simpleng way na yun, parang parang na mo yung peace of mind mo. Pero I don't know if applicable to sa lahat, no? I cannot say that it's applicable to all. But it's up to you. Kasi sa akin, applicable, siya effective na sa akin. So, ayun lang, Levin. Medyo nakakatawa pero laban.
Thank you, Kuya Akim. In a sense, parang nagle-let go ka na, no, Kuya Akim. Para sa akin kasi, gusto ko lang idagdag. Letting go, as Siobhan mentioned a while ago, letting go is, para sa akin, one of the hardest lessons love can bring. Because, alam mo yan yung, sinabi natin ni Siobhan ganyan, pero yung gusto mong mag-hold on, yung gusto mong lumaban para sa isang tao, yung gusto mong maniwala na kaya ng love yung lahat. Pero sometimes kasi yun, as Kuya Aking mentioned, love means letting go. Yung pag-confess mo para maging kaibigan mo, parang nagle-let go ka in a sense na it brings something better. It can be painful, syempre. But I feel like it's also necessary because pag nag-hold on ka to something na wala na talaga, parang mas lumalala yung sakit eh. Napaprolong lang yung sakit. So, if you learned this year how to let go with love, how to honor what will happen while also accepting what it is, para sa akin maturity yun eh. Parang mature ka na at sense. Kasi strength yun na gusto mong parang strength yun and I hope na maging gentle kayo sa sarili niyo. And to continue processing yung ganung bagay. Thank you, Kuya Aki, for sharing. So, wait lang. Yun, as mentioned kanina, love, hindi lang romantic, di ba? Minsan, yung love, kailangan mong matuto na yung mahal ka lang sa sarili mo. Yung pagpapatawad, yung pag-set ng boundaries, pag-show up. Mga minention nila Kuya Akim, nila Jessie, nila Justin, nila Siobhan kanina. Yung mga ganung bagay. And since na-mention na natin lahat yon, I believe parang na-cover na natin yung big picture ng 2025. We talked about yung mga highs, yung mga lows, yung mga lessons, yung love. Pero zoom in naman tayo sa isang specific part ng year. And let's be honest, kasi parang I believe may statistics, so parang kalahati na siya ng buhay natin. Yun is yung school. Halos sa araw-araw nasa school tayo. So real talk. Minsan kasi tough yung school eh. At I think lahat tayo at some point. This year, nag-struggle. May mga subjects na hindi natin na-gets. May mga deadlines na nag-overlap. May mga moments na parang gusto mo na sumuko pero nandito pa rin tayo. Nandito pa rin tayo, nag-uusap pa rin tayo, and nanonood pa rin kayo mga viewers. And I want to acknowledge that. Kasi minsan, parang focus na focus tayo on where we're supposed to be. Now, we forget kasi to recognize kung saan na tayo ngayon. Super focus tayo kung saan dapat tayo makarating, kung saan ano dapat yung ma-achieve natin. Nakakalimutan natin ma-recognize kung nasaan tayo, kung ano yung narating natin. And we forget to give ourselves credit for that. For trying, for not giving up. And everyone has that one challenge na parang personal enemy na nila this school year. Yung subject na kala mo, kakampi mo, pero naging villain mo. Yung teacher na katuwaan mo, pero binagsak ka pala. Yun pala, hindi pala kasama sa katuwaan yung grade mo. Yung internal battles na you wanting to do well and feeling like you're constantly falling short. Para hindi mo naabot yung grade na kala mo sa subject na yun, nagagawa mo na lahat, kala mo you're doing so well, pero you're falling short pa rin. Hindi mo pa rin na-reach yung expectations mo. And there's one thing na hindi kailangan na solve na lahat. Yan. Hindi kailangan na solve na lahat. Hindi kailangan na tapos na yung laban. What matters is ginagawa mo pa rin siya. You're dealing it right now. Kahit work in progress pa yan. Kaya gusto ko tanungin sa iyo kasi curious lang ako. Ano ang pinakamalaking challenge mo this school year? At paano mo ito hinarap? Pwede naman kahit hindi pa ito fully solved. Pwede pa naman kahit hanggang ngayon is naguguluhan ka pa. Share mo lang if possible. Sige. Gusto ko unahin itong question with you, Siobhan.
For me, siguro yung mindset na hindi ko kaya. Hindi mo kaya, hindi ko kaya. Kahit naman ngayon, work in progress pa rin siya. Kahit na in everyday going to school, kunyari may quiz, hindi ko to kaya, hindi ako nakapag-aral. Pero, ano nangyari? Napasa mo. Kahit yung mga bare minimum na ganun, like, siguro, challenge siya at the same time, it gives me that's feeling na kampante ka na, kaya ko rin pala, hindi ko naman kailangan ikatakot yung mga maliliit na bagay na ito. Hindi ko kailangan i-overthink kasi it takes so much of my energy, takes so much of my time in my mind. And siguro masyado ko rin minamaliit yung sarili ko in a way na, na masyado kong, minamaliit yung sarili ko compared to other people. Kasi kung ano yung nakikita ko sa kanila, compare ko na, they look much more prepared than I am. So, di ko kaya. Na what do you call that word? Na over...
Well, sige. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Siobhan. Feeling ko lahat naman tayo makaka-relate dito eh. Kasi may mga times na feeling natin hindi natin kayang gawin. Pero nandito pa rin tayo. Which means somehow, na kaya natin. Kaya mo pala, kahit akala mo hindi. So, gusto ko tanungin sa'yo, Siobhan, isa pa follow-up question. Nararamdaman mo pa rin ba ito ngayon? Or is it something na parang looking back, na-realize mo na what you felt, like, na-realize mo what you felt throughout the year? Kasi, what if you're still in that space kasi? That's important kasi to acknowledge. Kailangan mo ma-acknowledge. So, are you still feeling that way now?
I feel like yes, like, yun nga, like what I've said kanina, work in progress pa rin siya sa mindset ko. Kasi siguro rin, okay rin siya in a way na sa isip ko na magstay siya doon kasi baka magkaroon ako ng situation in the near future na masyado ako magiging kampante sa sarili ko na kaya ko to. Kaya hindi ko na siya pinagpreparan. Hindi ko na siya pinaghandaan ganun. So, ayun. Pero at the same time, alam mo yung balance siya na thinking na um, kaya mo siya pero kailangan mo pa rin paghandaan para balance siya. Yeah. Thank you.
Nagawa mo siya parang strength mo. Something na nagpo-push sa'yo. So that's nice. Thank you for sharing, Siobhan. How about sa'yo, Jessie?
Siguro, for me, the one of the things or siguro yung pinaka malaking challenge ko this school year is time management, tapos yung pressure din. Somewhat similar lang din sa sinabi ko kanina. Pressure is yung mga inner voices natin na yung nag-overthink tayo sa mga maliliit na bagay, pinapalaki natin. Like, yung mga ganun. And somewhat similar din dun sa sinabi ni Siobhan, yung pag-underestimate din natin sa mga kakayanan natin. There are times na siguro I meron akong fear na gawin yung isang bagay, then I ended up acing those kind of things. Like yung kala natin hindi natin kaya. Kaya pala natin siyang i-ace. Like, kunwari yung sa test nga, like yung hindi ka nag-prepare, tapos you ended up acing that test or whatsoever. Tapos siguro, sa time management naman, kasi I took up a lot of responsibilities this school year, like joining the student council, tapos to join at the same time. It's a very big challenge, but it kind of uplifted me in a way na I really do need to manage my own time kasi hindi ko naman kayang pagsabayin yung mga bagay na yun. So yeah, yun naman siguro yung masasabi ko.
Time management. I feel like this is one of those skills that they expect us to have. But minsan hindi nila tinuturo eh. Ewan ko kung sa iba naturo. Pero sa amin, parang hindi nila naturo. And like, they just pile on assignments, they pile on deadlines, and expect us to figure it out. I feel like that's hard. It's overwhelming, especially when you have multiple subjects. As you mentioned, you have multiple extracurriculars. Siyempre, may family responsibilities ka pa. May social life ka pa. And it's a lot to balance. So, if time management yung challenge you this year, as similar to Jessie, I think you're not alone. Feeling ko maraming makaka-relate dito. Kasi hindi lang naman ako, relate ako, pero I feel like a lot of students struggle with this also. And it's not about you being lazy or you being disorganized. Feeling ko kasi tao ka eh. It's that because it's sometimes kasi tao ka, you have limits and sometimes those limits get tested. I feel like the only thing you can do is to be patient with yourself as you figure out things. You figure out how to get out of this situation. I'd suggest trying different systems. See what works for you and that reminder na okay lang yun. I think kailangan mo palagi ma-remind yung sarili mo na okay lang ito. Okay lang yung nangyayari. It's okay not to do everything. It's okay to prioritize yourselves, your well-being over being busy. So thank you, Jessie, for sharing. How about you, Kuya Justin?
So one of my toughest challenges this month is yung preparation for the finals namin sa college. So, 1 week siya and siguro na-stress din kami is because parang naging 2 weeks siya is because finals. Pagkatapos ng finals is kailangan naming habulin yung mga activities namin. And napakadami. It's like Zumba, demo, job interview, and etc. So with that kind of perspective, talagang yung stress ko at that time, parang like, nagkukulong na lang ako sa kwarto, and I cannot, because of the pressure itself, parang natatabunan ka, and you are not really motivated enough para gawin or mag-study or yung mga dapat gawin. But I soon late na-realize ko that it is really essential for us to communicate with everybody. Nalaman ko to na uh, nung nagkulong ako sa kwarto, lumabas ako, nagmuni-muni, as well as nag-interact with the people itself. And that kind of perspective made me smile kasi iba talaga yung kumbaga hatak or bigay when you are with someone na comfortable ka, when you are someone that you can really connect with them. And through that kind of perspective, nagamit ko siya para ma-cope up yung mga challenges ko as sa finals as well as yung mga activities na dapat gawin. And siguro with that kind of perspective, nalampasan ko siya and through the help of, interacting with my fellow individuals. Yun lang naman, Lavin.
Okay, thank you, Kuya Justin. So, na-mention mo kanina, academic struggles, yung sa finals mo. And nakaka-drain talaga yan because lahat naapektuhan, di ba? Your confidence, your mental health, yung mga relationships mo minsan. And when you're falling behind in school or in yun, finals mo, it's hard to enjoy anything else. Mahirap maging present. As you said, nagkukulong ka na lang sa kwarto. And ako personally, I feel sorry for you kasi you went through this. You went through that this year. But I want to also acknowledge that you're still here and you didn't give up. You might have not solved the problem completely, but you found ways to cope. You found ways to keep going, and I feel like that's huge. So thank you, Kuya Justin, for sharing. How about sa'yo, Shivon?
Sorry.
Ano yung pinakamalaking challenge mo?
Eto, parang tapos na.
Tapos na pala. Sorry. Nawawala na sa isip ko. So I think nag-run through na ba tayo sa lahat? Yes? Sige. So, since, ayun, minsan, hindi, yun, as I said, minsan hindi nasa-solve yung problem completely. Minsan yung achievement na parang show up na lang siya bigla. Yun, trying different strategies, asking for help, progress. Pero, hindi naman lahat ng struggle, di ba? May mga moments din na talagang na-uplift tayo, na-uplift yung mood natin. And yung mga bagay na nag-remind sa atin why we keep going, why we keep pushing, and I think it's important to talk about these moments. Kasi valid siya eh. Valid yung struggles natin eh. And siguro meron yung isang tao na nakakakilala talaga sa iyo. Yung tipong hindi lang gumagabay sa iyo, pero nag-inspire sa iyo. It may be a subject na akala mong boring. Like, yung favorite mo pala because of how it was taught. Or maybe yung mga barkada mo na naging support system mo. I feel like lahat sa atin, may mga taong ganun. Naging support system na katulong talaga sa atin. Yung mga kasama natin tuwing lunch breaks, yung mga kasama natin pag nagse-celebrate tayo. And maybe, siguro, for some of us, it's an experience, a school event, a competition, a project na nag-bring ng pagiging, like, nalabas niya yung pagiging best mo. So, these are things that make school bearable. These are things that make us feel like, okay, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm learning, and this is why it's worth it. Kaya, ano ang pinaka nakaka-uplift sa'yo sa school life mo ngayong taon? This could be a class, an experience, or isang barkadang nag-ingay ng mundo mo. Isang barkadang nandyan palagi, or isang taong nandyan palagi. So, tanungin kita, Shivon, kasi doon ako nalito kanina. Kala ko na masyado ako na-engross sa usapan. Nakalimutan ko mag-take account kung sino yung mga tinatawag ko. Pero si Shivon.
Siguro for me, yung pinaka naka-uplift sa akin sa school life ko ngayon is, it may be small, pero yung mga simple hangouts with friends after school. Simpleng pagpunta ng SM, just to talk about life, ano yung update sa buhay, ganito, ganyan. Siguro, parang nare-relieve din yung mind ko noon na parang take it easy, chill-chill lang muna kahit for a moment, then after that, go, sabak ulit. Pero yun, I feel like yun yung talagang what keeps me going para or give me inspiration din siguro na pagpatuloy yung this life. Yan.
Having people, yung mga tao, as Shivon mentioned, mga tao sa school, I feel like malaking impact niya. You can survive bad days, you can survive a bad grade, a bad situation, as long as you have people to laugh with. Yung mga barkada mong, kahit pinapagalitan na kayo, kahit ang baba ng grade nyo, pare-pareho kayong mababa yung grade, nagkakatuwaan pa rin kayo, you people to vent to process with, and it may sound like you found that this year, Siobhan. Parang nahanap mo na yung bagay na yun this year, and you found your people, you found your tribe, and the people who get it because you're going through it, they're going through it with you. And that's the kind of friendship na parang it gets you through Yung, so I suggest na to cherish those people, protect those relationships, because high school tayo School is temporary. Magka-college na tayo. Senior high school na tayo. Pero yung mga friendships na nabibuild mo along the way, mga friends mo nung high school, senior high school, junior high school, those can last a lifetime if you nurture them. So, yeah, I'm really glad na you have found this support system this year, and everything was bearable. It made everything more bearable, and I hope others could relate. I hope other people have this sort of support systems. So thank you, Siobhan. How about sa'yo, Kuya Akim?
Ayan, maraming salamat, no. So, way back when I was in college, no, even in high school, hindi ako mahilig makipag-hangout siguro. Maybe it's because I have a lot of responsibility. Kung kay CJ Apiasa pa, I wear different hats, no. I am a student leader, no. I'm a breadwinner. I'm a caretaker of my younger brother who was diagnosed in autism spectrum, and many more. Oo, kahit ang responsibility that time. Pagdating sa school kasi, sa akin, hindi ko dinidibdib masyado yung mga activities, yung mga kasi ginagawa ko siya on time talaga kasi alam kong darating ang panahon na tatambak ito ng tatambak na magko-cause ng pressure. Alam ko lahat kayo, you experience pressure. Yung pressure na especially kapag if someone or your parents, the people around you, na ang taas na expectation sa'yo, especially your family, nakaka-pressure yan. But sa akin kasi, even though yes, sabi natin mataas na expectation ni mother, pero ayun, bahala siya. Eto ako. Gusto ko lang i-enjoy yung buhay ko sa college. And siguro, dumating sa point na nag-end na ako na maging honor student. O na, kumbaga sa college yung university at saka college color. But, humingi ako ng sign kay God na kung hindi ako magiging university o college scholar ng isang semester o mas dagdagan pa rin ng pangalawang semester, di na ako mag-aim yan. Ipagpapatuloy ko yung passion ko, which is leadership. And yun yung nangyari, di nga ako so ibinaling ko sa iba. So in-enjoy ko siya. And in the end, school is my comfort zone. Na kung saan, excited ako pumunta ng school, ganon, excited ako, basta alam ko, na may klase, excited ako basta may klase kasi nag-e-enjoy ako sa school. Not because sa mga tawag nito yung mga sa mga discussion, sabi natin gano'n. Pero para sa akin parang ang gaan ng loob 'pag nasa school ako. Kaya siguro nag-education ako 'no. And kumbaga yung buhay ko is kumbaga kung nasa school ako, kung nasa classroom, kung walang klase, punta naman ako sa office namin, then balik na naman, punta ulit sa klase. And of course, parang yun lang yung naging routine ko. And ang maganda din do'n, yung mga co-officers ko, sila rin yung naging ko rin, naging ka-bonding, oo. Kumbaga, yung yung pagpu-push ng advocacy namin, yun din yung naging bonding namin na tawag nito, nagpapa-excite sa'kin na pumunta sa school, gano'n, na i-maintain pa rin yung tawag nito, yung good relationship. And kaya hindi ako na-pressure that time, hindi ako nagkasakit, oo. Ngayon lang na yung board exam kasi talagang pinressure ko yung sarili ko kasi sa kagustuhan nga magkalisensya 'no. Kaya nga minsan kasi yung pressure wala sa tao na nasa paligid mo kundi minsan yung sa sarili mo lang din, ikaw lang din nagpe-pressure sa sarili mo just like sa akin, ako na din nag-pressure sa sarili ko at siguro dahil sa tawag nito, sa sobrang paghahangad ng isang bagay, ito yung kinahinatnan but in the end at least naka-survive pa naman din. So, 'wag nating hayaan 'no na makontrol tayo ng pressure natin. Kung sabi nga kaya ni Jessie 'no, saka sinabi sabi kanina ng time management, pag-aralan nating mabuti paano natin i-ma-manage yung time natin 'no. Share ko sa inyo ng internship ko ha. Siguro grabe yun, kasi kailangan ko gumising ng 4 AM, 3 AM kasi maglalaba pa ako. Magluluto pa ako, hugas plato, kailangan ko pang paliguan yung kapatid ko bago ako pumunta sa school. Then sa school is ayun, pagdating dun kailangan kong i-guide yung mga estudyante ko na maglinis ng ground and while free time ko ginagamit ko siya to make my lesson plan. Kapag drain na ako, stop, then klase, kung di ko naman siya kayang ituloy yung lesson plan, um, ginagawa ko siya sa bahay and pagdating naman sa bahay, ayun, luto ulit, alaga ng kapatid, linis ng bahay. And minsan mga 5 to 6 ako nakakauwi ng school nakakauwi sa bahay kasi minsan may mga activity yung mga students ko, ayoko namang iwanan na sila lang do'n. So, I make sure na makauwi silang lahat bago ako uuwi. Gano'n yung technique ko that time. So, ayun, kaya naman yung time management. Pero ayun lang, marami kang masasakripisyo na especially yung social time. Pero di naman, inintindi ko na lang na kailangan ko 'to. So, mahalaga rin yung mindset din natin at saka yung disiplina sa sarili. Back to you, Levin.
Ayun, thank you, Kuya Akim. Siguro nakarelate ako sa'yo kasi na-mention mo na school became your comfort zone. Siguro para sa akin, ganun rin yung nangyari kasi um, I've dati kasi, di naman ako, whenever may school, parang kamay ko pa ganun. Pero this time kasi, parang gusto ko na lang pumasok na pumasok. Kasi parang, it's not because yun, as you mentioned, yung mga lessons ganun. It's because, siguro yung mga tao na nakasama ko sa school. Siguro yung mga experience na naranasan ko, yung mga different personalities, different people na makikilala ko sa school. Parang, doon ako na-intrigue. And thank you for sharing, Kuya Aking. It was very nice reflection na nabigay mo. So, how about sa'yo, Jessie?
I actually agree with Kuya Akim and sa'yo din, Levin. School is indeed our second home. I actually see that right now. Kasi po, siguro nung lower grade levels pa, siguro ako mga grade, junior high school, alam mo yung feeling na tinatamad ka pumasok, pero ngayong senior high school, it's somewhat different. Parang mas ginaganahan akong pumasok not because of the lessons, just like what you said a while ago, but because of the people that surround me there. Kasi sila yung talaga yung nakaka-uplift, not just in terms of our academics, but our personal or social life din po. Kasi sila yung na-realize natin na maybe they're one of the reasons why we're still here, why we're still living. So yun siguro, sa friends siguro, the new people that I met this year kasi senior high school because there's a lot of transferees. And of course, my friends way back nung grade 10 that I'm grateful na friends ko pa rin sila. And of course, the teachers, my previous advisors, and of course, Ma'am Bunsol then, or teacher or SPA sa journalism. they were the people who really uplifted me. And one more thing, siguro, is sa experience. An experience that uplifted me is the time na I joined a lot of things sa school, like from the small competitions, small contests, or yung mga clubs. It's actually very challenging, but somewhat na it uplifted me in a way na na-distract ko yung sarili ko from the personal challenges that I've been experiencing. So maybe those are the things that really uplifted me during this school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. Kasi, di ba sinabi nyo, yun yung mga reasons kung bakit tayo bumabalik everyday. Yung mga tao, yung mga experiences na nagpapaalala sa atin na it's worth it. Yun, as we mentioned, yung school, yung mga bagay na nangyayari sa atin. Now, here's a tough one. May mga bagay kasi kasi tayong ginagawa na parang productive or helpful, pero deep inside, alam natin na it's not serving us anymore. And it's time to be honest with ourselves. Maybe it's a habit of cramming. Everything last minute. Maybe it's the mindset na you have to be perfect in everything. Maybe it's the constant comparison with classmates. Yung laging, check mo kung nasan yung ranking mo. Kung gaano ka kagaling compared sa iba. Maybe it's the attitude na you can't ask for help kasi you have to figure it out on your own. These things, minsan kasi, nag-uumpisa siya sa coping mechanism. They helped us survive before, pero ngayon, it could hold us back. They're making things harder than they need to be. And as we move forward to a new year kasi, it's worth asking ourselves, what do I need to let go of para gumaan yung journey ko? Kaya gusto ko tanongin sa inyo, bago tayo palapit yung oras, bago tayo mag-move on sa last question ko. Kung may study habit, mindset, or attitude na gusto mong iwan bago matapos ang taon, I'd like to ask, ano yun? At bakit panahon na para pakawalan mo? Bakit ngayon is palagay nyo, after years and years of doing it, after months of doing it, bakit pakpakawalan ba siya ngayon? Tanungin kita, Kuya Justin. Kuya Justin.
So, one thing I've realized sa senior high school ako is I've more on been siguro memorization. And later on, nung pag-college na, I later discovered that iba talaga yung memorize and kumbaga, alam mo na paano i-apply yung sariling topic itself, kung paano mo siya gawin into a real life situation. I think it is really essential for us not to memorize the lessons that our teacher teach us. It's about the values they gives of how can we affect those kind of individuals or paano tayo share natin yung mga perspective natin when it comes to learnings as well as yung mga fun activities na malalaman natin. And siguro it is really essential din na dapat yung pagsa-study ko kasi is I'm more like understanding the topic itself and paano ko siya ma-apply into real life situation. Then pag may quiz na before that day is mag-scan na ako ng mga notes. And yun lang yung coping mechanism in terms of studying. And I think it's effective din naman. Yan lang naman, 11.
Thank you, Kuya Justin, for sharing. How about sa'yo, Jessie?
Siguro, a study habit, mindset, or attitude na gusto kong iwan before the 2025 ends is, yun nga, yung habit na last minute na lang or yung pagkakram. Kasi, on some point, hindi siya nakakatuwa na nasa gitna ka ng stress tapos kailangan ko pa pala gumawa ng specific activity or requirement. Pero, meron ding aside of me na parang yung habit ko kasi na pag the last minute ko is yung time pressure is like minomotivate ako na gumawa ng mas mabilis and efficient. Pero gusto ko siyang iwan this year kasi hindi masaya mag-cram lalo pag tambak-tambak yung gawain. One more thing siguro na mindset na gusto kong iwan is um a teacher told me na ang dami ko nga po sinasalihan, and I lately realized that that's actually a mindset that I want to leave this year kasi um it doesn't really matter that na kailangan kong salihan ang lahat. I need to focus on one thing, and I need to set my priorities straight. Pwede naman sigurong may extracurricular ako, but I need to stay my focus in order to go with the flow, and para rin may fuel yung passion ko and yung drive ko to continue on with life. So maybe that's one thing that I will live this 2025.
Thank you, Jesse, for sharing. Krabi is interesting because it's rarely about laziness. It's usually something deeper. Maybe it's about burnout. It's about perfectionism. If you're struggling with it, kasi, you have to first figure out why. Why are you avoiding this? Why are you avoiding doing this? Why are you crabbing? Why are you procrastinating? What is the real issue? And I feel like you have to be gentle with yourself kasi you haven't, it makes it worse pag you keep on blaming yourself. And thank you, Jesse, for sharing. Siguro one more thing is to remove distractions. How about ikaw, Kuya Akip?
Thank you, no. Actually, kahit hindi ako nag-aral ngayon since graduate na ako, of course, yung kalahati yata ng or 3/4 ng year ko 2025, no, was rendered in tawag na to. Of course, studying kasi nga after I graduated, no, I took a board exam kaagad. And doon talaga nangyari, parang ang daming nabago. Yung gusto ko lang na ano, yung parang gusto ko talagang baguhin. Hindi lang 'to sana para sa akin kundi para din sa lahat 'no, na kung talagang para sa atin, ano, tawag nito, talagang mangyayari 'yan sa atin, eh, o ibibigay sa atin 'yan ni Lord o di kaya naman pagsikapan natin. But not to the point na may mapapabayaan ka ng iba, just like your health, just like other matters, no? Or para sabihin na natin na huwag mong hintayin na maging addict ka sa isang bagay na yon, no? Na just like sabi ni Jessie kanina na parang syempre parang masaya tayo na marami tayong sinasalihan but di natin na-realize minsan na ano na kailangan pala natin mag-focus lang sa isang bagay. And sometimes what you achieve not really matters or hindi talaga siya nagre-reflect sa kung sino ka. Basta't ang mahalaga is, meron ka pa rin matira sa sarili mo, nakakapag-bonding ka pa rin, nagagawa mo pa rin yung mga dati mong ginagawa despite of your busy schedule. And yun talaga yung goal ko na ano, na sana, no, na sa mga kabataan, alam ko, pressure talaga ang pag-aaral, but ano, ayun, alagaan pa natin yung sarili natin, no? Yung kalusugan natin. Kasi nga, di ba, ang kalusugan ay ang ating kayamanan. Ayan, back to you, Levin.
Ayun, thank you, Kuya Akip. Thank you for sharing your reflection mo. How about sa iyo, Siobhan?
Ay, sorry. Kung babalik ko lang, anong question ulit?
Ay, sige. So, yung question kasi is, you know, ano yung gusto mong, like, ano yung bagay na, like, gusto mong, nakalimutan, wala na sa isip ko yung question. Sorry. Ano yung, ito, ano pala yung study habit or mindset or yung attitude na gusto mong iwan bago matapos yung taon? Ano yun and bakit sa palagay mo ito yung panahon na pakawalan nito? Bakit after like doing it for so long, papakawalan mo siya?
Siguro, in terms of mindset, siguro yung masyado kong in-overthink yung mga maliliit na bagay na sobrang unnecessary. Kasi, ayun nga, like what I've said kanina, it takes so much space in my mind na to the point na uh, yung mga necessary na things na hindi dapat isipin, naiisip ko. Kaya sobra ako na-overwhelmed when it comes na, yan, pag pumapasok na yung pressure, yung other study, or yung studies, pag sabay-sabay na lahat, parang gumuguho ka na lang, di ba? So, feel ko yun yung study habit or mindset or attitude na gusto kong iiwan bago matapos ang 2020.
Thank you for sharing, Siobhan. So, gusto natin gawin yan kasi intentions natin yan, di ba? They're different from resolutions. Resolutions kasi goals yan. Intentions parang it's something that I will. It's not something na pala. It's not something that I will. It's something I choose to. And finally, zoom out tayo ng onte kasi hindi tayo nag-exist sa isolation, di ba? We're part of communities, our families, our schools, our circles, and this isn't about grand gestures or life-changing actions. Yun, na-mention natin kanina. Reflect tayo onte. It's about showing up. It's about making a difference in ways that we can with the resources we have. Maybe your ambag or your ambag is being a better friend. Maybe it's helping your family more. Maybe it's participating more in class. Or maybe it's being kinder to strangers. Kasi at the end of the day, we're not just living for ourselves. We're part of something bigger. Kahit maliit lang yung ambag natin, it matters. And kahit gusto ko pang mag-usapan tayo, kahit nabigyan pa tayo ng isa pa extra hour, parang bitin pa rin. The time is closing na eh. We're almost at the end. So, yun na yun. Ang dami nating napag-usapan ngayon. Ang dami nating na-realize. And sana through these reflections, nakita nyo kung paano kayo ka-strong, kung gaano kadami na pagdaanan, at kung gaano karami pang pwede natin papitin. And sana nakarelate yung ating mga manunood. Sana may mga natutunan rin sila sa mga napag-usapan natin today. And as we close this year and welcome the next one, I'd like everyone to remember this. You are not the same person who started 2025. You've grown, you've changed, and I feel like that's something to be proud of. Thank you for spending this special Christmas year-end episode with me. Once again, my name is Levin Content, part of Team LHS, and sana na-enjoy nyo ito. So I will be handing now the spotlight to Lian. Is Lian still here? Mukhang nalaglag na si Lian. So I will be now passing over the spotlight to Siobhan, if possible, for our synopsis, our synthesis. To Siobhan.
Ayan. So, okay. So, 2025 was full of real talks. Yung usapan natin ngayon, it's all about love, friendships, school, family, and all our stories. We realized that not everyone or everything is meant to stay, and that's okay. Some relationships, whether it is platonic or love or family, we have to let them go. Some choices we made even if kahit na hindi natin gusto. And all those small decisions shape us in big ways. We also learned about habits, mindsets, and boundaries, leaving behind what didn't serve us. Now, stepping into 2026, it is time to leave our comfort zones. So, ang piece of advice ko lang din sa inyo is do what you want, take chances, and truly be alive. This is our year. 2026 is our year to grow, feel alive, and become the best versions of ourselves. And gusto ko lang idagdag na para we did what we had to, or we did what we could with what we knew back then. And I feel like that's enough for us na to live with no regrets this 2025. Ayun lang. And for our
Ako na muna mag-take over, Siobhan.
ayan, sige.
Thank you, Siobhan. So, bago tayo closing and for announcements, may gusto lang kaming Team LHS i-share na produce naming video for this special episode. Kasi we know na this episode is very special as the end of the year. This is the final episode for this year for Kalambag. We've prepared a short video with the themes of hope, Christmas, and education. So I'd hope that ma-enjoy nyo siya 1 minute 30 seconds video. So ayun. So bago tayo magtapos, gusto ko lang i-acknowledge ang ating mga kasamahan ngayon. So I'd like to acknowledge everyone that was part of this episode today. So everyone na nag-share, everyone na nagbigay ng insights, reflections about the year today. And sa mga manonood natin na sumabay-bay, sumama sa atin sa usapan ngayon. So I'd like to congratulate everyone. It's been one eventful year, 1 year full of many unexpected things, and I hope everyone was able to learn something this year. Sana may madala kayo this year na madala nyo sa kabilang. Sa susunod na taon, sana happy kayo with outcomes, and sana lahat ng regrets ay nasolusyon na yun na. So, once again, this was Kalambag. My name was Levin Condet, together with my partners here. And for our short announcements this episode, so this is a special episode for Kalambag Team LHS. So, replace muna tayo, and for the next 3 weeks, so from December 20, replay muna tayo Friendship and Bowls. So, episode natin July 12. For December 27, replay ulit tayo Bayaning Pilipino, our episode noong August 25. January 3, replay ulit tayo Self-Care, July 19. So, Kalambag, magbabalik po ulit kami ng January 10. So, babalik po ulit kami January 10 every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. YouTube and FB page. So, subaybayan nyo kami doon, mag-follow, mag-like, and mag-subscribe kayo sa FB and YouTube page namin. So, meron din po kami inclinasyon, envisioning an inclusive society, or inclination now na. Every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. Meron rin po tayo para sa mga matatanda po natin dyan, ang Senior City, Adult Learning and Education with a focus on framework of a lifelong learning. Every Saturday po yan, 7 to 8 p.m. So mamaya pong gabi, meron po tayong episode. So I'd like to thank once again everyone. Thank you for sticking with us through this journey, through this year. This has been 1 year full of learnings here with Kalambag. We have with a year full of experiences, meeting different people, and I'd like for I'd like if everyone would just reflect on the ups, reflect on the downs, reflect on the big moments, the small moments, and appreciate this year, because 2025 is was a big part of our life. So this is Kalambag, and I'll see you next year. Merry Christmas and keep fighting the good fight. Bye-bye. Pero